All right, William, welcome back. I know that you had originally told me. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the Rumble. It's funny that you said that, and because I was working, I actually missed the first 30 minutes of the Women's Royal Rumble. So I did not know who was number one. I did not know who was number two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12.
Right.
So I don't know if there was any eliminations or not until I think it was number 14, because I know that two numbers later or three was Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I think it was like 17. I think it was.
Yeah, and right away it hit me. I was like, "Fucking William called it."
I mean, she surprisingly, obviously, even though I had called it, like at the same time, I was like, maybe it won't happen because she like erased all WWE stuff from her Instagram and from all that stuff. And then obviously it hit us as a shocker to everybody who was there and those who were watching. Obviously, when it comes down to you missing much, not really, because I think the first elimination happened at number 11. I think that's even the first one went out the ring. So.
No, and it's like I said it in the other podcast that we had. I'm not really familiar with the girls tag team. I mean, girls whole stable, like the small, not the bigger names, please. So when all these other girls started coming out, I was like, I have no idea who it is, and I'm sorry. I'm like sorry, not sorry in a way. Like it's I was out of wrestling for like almost when John Cena dominated. I kind of left for like 7 years. And then when CM Punk and Daniel Bryan started to come again, I started watching, and then they both left, so I stopped watching. Then I started watching again when ¿cómo se puede decir? Like right before COVID, and then I stopped watching again. So I've been on and off, right? On and off. So when it comes to all these young girls and all that, no conozco a nadie. And so the excitement wasn't as there. I just knew who were the bigger names. So when Alexa Bliss did come out, I was shocked that she came out with con su character de Bryant.
Yeah.
The sister Abigail. I think that she was Abigail, right? Or something like that.
I believe so. Or isn't that the other girl? I don't know. That I was out of wrestling during that time of the Fiend. That I just didn't care enough. I know Goldberg beat him, but that's different news. But yeah, she came out with that character, the whole Fiend little character. And I guess I'm sure she's gonna be around for a bit to where they're gonna make Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss. Like, I'm guessing going into the Rumble. I mean, going into Mania. I'm pretty sure.
What do you say? What do you say? That's a big deal. Liv versus Alexa.
Yeah, because I mean, I believe they had a rivalry before, or they were teammates. I'm not sure how it played out, how it was. But I know that, like, obviously when she came out, it obviously panned to Liv Morgan. So it was kind of like, there's something there. Now, again, I don't know the history behind them, but I know that it's heading in that direction.
Okay. See, because I was like, I wasn't too sure. I'm like, is there something like, is there a reason why she eliminated her or whatever the reason may be? But I was like, I said it to myself, I'm like, I wouldn't be mad if she would have won. Because I'm like, it's a big return. Nobody would expect it. But I know how the WWE is, where if once someone comes back, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, well, she hasn't been back in 2 years. Why the hell did she get to win?" I was like, "Just let her have it. Just let her have it." I'm like, she has put her part, and she could have had it too. I'm not mad that Charlotte won. I did call it, and
I mean, looking through the entire Rumble, is like, yeah, you did call it, but it's like, really, who else could have potentially won it at that point? It's like a lot of people. Nia Jax, who just lost the belt, Liv Morgan, who just lost the belt. Everybody else is basically, Bailey, I guess, but at the same time, Bailey won it last year. So yeah. It's like, are you really gonna put her back to back in a way?
And Io Sky is as much as I wanted her to win, I'm like, technically, you just came out a long run as a champion. So even if you were to feud with Rhea, I'm like, we already saw you as a champion. As much as she's a great wrestler, I'm like, we don't need to see her as a champion still, because I hate that. Like, you lose the belt, and then 3 months, 4 months later, you get the belt back. Like, I feel like we should stop that already. I know that there's times where I say, or like, for instance, Jay, if he were to win and beat Gunter, I'm like, I don't want him to keep that title for so long
Right.
because I'm gonna be uninterested. I'm like, I can skip through your match, but that's another that we're not gonna get into right now. I'm just saying, like for that Io had it for a good long run. She doesn't need the title now. You're right on. Who else could have won it? It's true. Once you start thinking about it, you're like, nobody has that name to win it and do something with it.
Right. I mean, so what you're saying is you'd rather have longer runs instead of multiple runs as champion.
By the same person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, exactly. So you'd rather have, let's say in this case, a 4-year run of Roman Reigns instead of winning it, dropping it, winning it, dropping it, winning
Yes.
it, dropping
Yes.
it.
And not exactly 4 years, but I can do like let's say like Punk's run 434 days. I like that whole run as opposed to him losing it, picking it up, losing it, picking it up. And I don't mind if it was like the beginning where Priest had like, for instance, it said Drew Seth had it for I don't know how many. I think it was like 9 months, and then Drew picked it up for like seconds or minutes, and then freaking Priest had it for like 3 months, and then it was Gunther, and now it might be Jay. I'm like, so it's not being a lot of months where I like that. I'm like, okay, we can have different champions, and then leave it like for a while. Like, oh, he's gonna have a dominant run now, but make sure it's the right guy that can carry matches. And that's why I said, well, we'll get into that him later. So Charlotte winning, I didn't mind it because when she won the Rumble, it was a bunch of ¿cómo te puedo decir? Uh, it was COVID time, so she didn't really get to celebrate as she's the GOAT, the best of the best, the Queen of Queens. She deserves a good run. Sorry, a good win at the Royal Rumble,
Right.
and for her to be her second one, of course, like many legends or many badasses of the men's Royal Rumble have won it twice. Stone Cold, John Cena, Hulk Hogan. I think Triple H has won it twice as well. Batista, I think, has won it twice, and I think Brock Lesnar has won it twice. I'm not sure about The Rock, but not like only the big names have won it twice. I don't know how Cody has.
I mean, they showed a little thing at the bottom on Royal Rumble how many like times somebody has won it. I think there's been a few times where it's been three-time winner. I think Stone Cold was one of them.
I don't think Stone Cold is. No one has won it 3 times.
No, I think there's been a few. I think I could be wrong.
And if I'm wrong, I think it is Stone Cold. He has 2 back-to-back. No, I don't know because Cody was the first back-to-back.
That one, not necessarily back to back, but I know that there's been multiple times of double champions or whatever. Because this is WrestleMania, or sorry, this Royal Rumble 39 or something like that. It was
something like that,
and there's been like 27 different winners, give or take.
Around there,
because that's what they had said, like shown on the screen. So that means okay, then there's been multiple, double time winners or whatever.
Yes. Now, again, I ain't have nothing. The only thing I had against the women's Royal Rumble was that it was the first match.
I mean, that's always been the thing, I believe, ever since it got implemented.
Now again, because I have said that because I left wrestling and came back, and came back. I haven't really paid attention to that, but I believe it should have been the tag team, the girls Royal Rumble, Cody, and then the men's Royal Rumble. It should have been like that.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I believe it's always like that. It's always been the women's rumble, whatever fights happen in between, and then the men's rumble. Last year it was the same thing with the Fatal Four of LA Knight, Randy Orton, Roman, and AJ Styles. For the Rumble match in between.
The Fatal Four. See.
Yeah. So I know that. I believe it's always been that setup, and it's always how if you don't close it, you open it. That's what people always say. So.
And we did call the legend. We said which legend for the women's. We both said Trish Stratus. Oh, well, yo dije puse nombres, but you did say Trish would be like the main one because she's the one more involved.
Right. Yeah.
So I called the winner. None of them hit. AJ Lee didn't hit. Becky Lynch didn't hit. You caught Nikki Bella. You called it.
Yeah, they not teasing her, but I mean, I sent you a TikTok which was like terrible booking. It's like, why do you announce Charlotte Flair and giving us hope for somebody bigger, and then nothing? Because Nikki Bella is not bigger than Charlotte Flair.
If we knew that Charlotte was gonna win, I believe you should not have, especially if it's not, now that we know that it wasn't Becky, now that we know that it wasn't AJ, and now that we know that it was Bella, I'm like, it's okay if you would have had Bella as number 30. It's okay. But you should have never shown that promo for Charlotte.
Exactly. Like, let her be the surprise entry at that point.
And let her come in at 23, the same way that she came in. Let her come in 20. I forget what number she was, but let her come in like that, and it would have been a big pop. Like, oh shit, so who's number 30? So now when you get Bella, it's a big pop because you're like, oh shit, I'm like, she's back, like so.
Right.
So it wouldn't be like because you already ruined it for the promo. Now we're expecting someone big. We're expecting Carhill. We're expecting Becky. We're expecting AJ, and then you give us Bella, and now we're kind of mad. We're like, what the fuck is this? We don't like I never liked the Bella twins, but I was like, even if I have twins myself and you have twins yourself, I don't like Bella twins.
I mean, like I told you that I mean, that night I was like, no pop, basically no pop for Nikki Bella. Yeah, there was a pop, but there was like hardly any pop for her. And I'm just like, did they really think she was gonna get more of a pop than Charlotte Flair? Like, like it's just, I don't know. But
and I'll say this, I think she didn't get a no pop because everybody was expecting for more.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why. I mean, Alexa Bliss got more of a pop than Nikki Bella.
Yes. So like, other than that, I think it was a decent Rumble. My favorite spot from that, it possibly was where Nia Jax eliminated all 5 of them.
Like at the same time, yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite part. I'm not gonna like. There was not a lot of big moments. Like Trish Stratus returning was cool. Alexa Bliss returning was cool. I can easily give the Women's Rumble a 9 out of 10. It was decent, or 8. I'll be 8. Eight's fine. 8 out of 10.
I mean, I agree. I think it should be, well, for me it's like a 7. Really, the surprise element, it was just 2. Really, 1. So because really the only 2 you take into consideration would be, I guess, Nikki Bella and Alexa Bliss, because you already kind of have an idea of Trish coming, going in at it, and obviously they had already announced Charlotte Flair. As for the fight itself, like, there was not really a memorable moment except for the Nia Jax just basically taking 6 out at once or whatever that was. Beside that, I don't think there was any other memorable moments you could think of.
And I get it. What do you think about the tag team, the DIY versus Motor City?
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. It was a great match. I hate the way it ended. I hated the interference. I hated couldn't they just make it a regular best out of 3 falls count? Like, why is there gotta be some another wrestling tag involved? I guess I see where you're going, into Mania with multiple teams going after it.
Because these guys came out at the end, and it's a heel turn, right? It's a heel turn because they attacked Motor City. It's a heel turn.
Yeah.
And now we only have technically Motor City as the faces. The other turn that I'm expecting from heel to turn are gonna be I keep forgetting their fucking name though, the beauty guys.
Right.
So I expect them to turn face, but where I think I'm going, if it's not at the Chamber, it will be at WrestleMania. Because let's say on the next couple of weeks or this month on SmackDown, we're possibly gonna get a titles match between DIY and what's it called? These fools, the ones who interrupted, the ones who interfered. Yes, and let's say the beauty guys interfere now because they won their shot, and then the next month going into WrestleMania, they're the ones who are going to have a tag team match, and then Motor City interferes. Now we have a Fatal 4 tag team match at WrestleMania. So that's what I think is where we're going, unless we get it at Elimination Chamber.
I mean, so you're saying Machine Guns become heel?
Not Machine Guns. No, because we would have 2 heels. We would have DIY y ¿cómo es que se llaman? Players? Prime Players? Come on, Street Profit. Okay, so Street Profits already turned heel because they attacked Motor City.
Right.
Motor City will be faces. DIY will be heel, and I believe the beauty guys are gonna be faces.
Oh, okay.
If they were to turn into face somehow, some way. But if we don't have that, for what I'm seeing, if we don't have that fatal 4-way tag team for the belts at Elimination Chamber, they're definitely going to push it all the way into WrestleMania. I don't think we're going to have a 1-on-1 match or 2-on-2 match at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be a 3-on-3. I mean, the triple threat or a fatal 4 for the belt.
Right.
And it makes more sense to have it like that.
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm sure they're going in that direction because really, like, why else would they interfere? And then I'm kind of think about it. I'm trying to think of other tag teams that could be involved in SmackDown, but really, I don't even think there's any more after that. I think it's just
There's on SmackDown they did a hint. I know that we couldn't. I know that we wish we could have talked a little bit at the SmackDown, but because we had Royal Rumble, basically SmackDown gets deleted again. When Tonga y Fatu one after they cut their promo, they're walking backstage and Tonga's looking at the tag team titles, meaning that the other Tonga's coming back. When I don't know. I was expecting them to be the ones who interfere on this pay per view.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if DIY doesn't win clean, or just win at all, I'm like, I expected interference by the Tongas, like together, so they can be like the next guys to be the contenders. When I saw that it was a Street Profits and I turned heel, I was like, okay. I'm like, we're getting heel Street Profits, and the skinny guy's already good on the mic. I keep forgetting his name, but the skinny guy's good on the mic, so expect him to be a lot better as a heel. And but other than that, I thought the match was good. I liked it. I didn't see any issues with it. Yes, was it interference? It was, but at least we're gonna get something new out of the Street Profits, and it sets up, like I said, a triple threat, potentially a fatal 4, maybe even a fatal 5 if the Tongas come back by the time of WrestleMania.
Okay, I mean, a fatal 5, I doubt it. I think more of a fatal 4 is gonna be the candidate. It all really depends on the timetable of the return. That's basically how long it's going to come back.
Yeah, because that was like in a way like a teaser, right? He's looking at the belts. I'm not sure if he grabbed them. He's just looking at them because he was the champion, and he's just looking at them. So I was like, it's they're not gonna give Solo a tag team run. I wouldn't think that they're not gonna give Fatu a tag team run. But they would give Tonga again a title shot with Tonga Toa and Tonga Loa. So I was like, all right. I'm like, I'm down with that. And then of course the Cody match. Oh, wait up. The tag team with the interference turning heel, I would also give it another solid 8 out of 10. It was Motor City's good, and
I had it at a 9, except that the interference just like.
Okay, so for you, the interference ruined it.
Yeah. All right. Like, I think the match would have been great overall, just as it was by itself. Like, there was no need for interference. Like, fine, you want DIY to win, then obviously you just do they win. That's it. But they don't need Street Profits to interfere and then attack them and then attack DIY as well. So it's like, I don't think that was necessary. I think the fight was great overall as it was, but like, I don't know, that just didn't do it for me. So yeah, for me, like, I dropped it to an 8 just because of the ending. Okay,
no, that's fair taken. For me, it was like because it's like, again, because of the heel turn, it's Stampos that I'm like, at least it wasn't a dumb interference. It just is something to go on from the story because now we get bad guy. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, the ladder match. Para empezar, wow, a toda madre. Right away, right off the bat, the rating was a toda madre. They literally used ladders, and they literally used the mini ladder. That shit was fucking hilarious.
They used all sorts of ladders in that match. I thought he was actually gonna do a swanton bomb off of that little mini ladder.
I will say this: I'm mad that Kevin Owens didn't jump off the ladder. The little one.
Like with the swanton or just with anyone?
With anything, because he literally put it up. He went all the way up. He teased us, and then he's like, fuck you guys. I got mad. I was like, come on, man. You set it up. Might as well fucking do it.
Might as well do it, yeah.
Obviously, then using every inch, Kevin Owens allowing his body to do that. I fear, not feel. I fear for Kevin Owens that he's gonna end up like Mankind, like Hulk Hogan, like Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, all of them when he's like in his 60s, where his body's gonna be just deteriorating and shit. Honestly, this guy does so many spots that I'm like, bro, how the hell do you do it and you don't get as injured?
Right. I mean, honestly, I agree. He does put his body through a lot, and I mean, this isn't the first match that he does stuff like this. So uh, I'm sure he'll have an early retirement. And a good pension after that. But I mean, the match was great with the spots, with every single spot.
Yes,
There was
yes.
nothing, like, yeah, sure. Obviously, Cody won. What that? Well, I think Kevin Owens will be gone for a good period of time for injured reasons. Storytelling, not really injured, but
You don't think he comes back in WrestleMania?
and do what?
Sami Zayn?
Fight Sammy?
Yeah.
I mean, from the looks of it, Sammy was more on Kevin Owens' side than Cody Rhodes' side.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't fucking interfere. He kept looking at him and looking
I
at
thought
him.
he
Like,
was gonna go and push the ladder off. That's really what I thought.
shit,
I was
me
like,
too. Me too. I was like, are we gonna do that? Like, and then the way the camera zoomed out and we're looking at Sammy and he keeps looking at him and I'm like, what are you gonna do? What are you trying to tease us about? Like, come
right,
on. Like,
exactly, yeah.
it was a stupid tease. I liked it and I hated it because it kept me on my toes. It kept me wondering. I was like, okay, but that was kind of pointless. But
Yeah,
I,
because
I was there for his friend.
yeah, I mean, he was there very much for Kevin Owens. Well, would it be Sami Zayn going after Cody now? Not because of the whole Kevin Owens thing, but if that's what they were teasing, because obviously even after the match, Cody Rhodes was celebrating in front of like Sami and Kevin, and just like like obviously hinting at a heel turn. Like every time he wrestles now, it just shows more and more of a darker side of him. So it's like I guess they are trying to push the
Um,
heel.
I'm gonna give you a cool a cool theory after we talk about the Rumble. I'm gonna give you my take on how they should do the heel turn because we already had 1 year of Cody. Let me just finish off with something, a hot take. Well, maybe not a hot take because people might agree. People say Sami Zayn is this era's Mankind. I don't agree with that. I honestly believe it's Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, this era's Mankind.
I mean, why would it be? Why are people saying Sammy? Like, I don't think Sammy puts his body as much as Kevin Owens on the
Exactly,
line.
exactly. Not only that, but Kevin's already been a champion, and Sami hasn't.
Right.
I believe Kevin Owen is a lot better with his promos than Sammy.
I mean, hands down.
Hands down, right? So I've seen a lot on the internet world where they do say that Sami Zayn is this year's Mankind. I think it's La Barba, that he looks like a homeless and shit like that. But I'm like, there's a difference between how the character looks and what the character does. Kevin Owens as would be Cactus Jack. Kevin Owens would be Mankind if he's like the face. So he takes those spots just like how Mankind would do it. And not only that, the promo skills that he does, it's just that he's not nice, and that's what Mankind was, or Dude Love. Sami Zayn is a nice one, but he doesn't take those dangerous spots. He did he did in the independent circuit, but not in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm trying to think of, like, never have I seen him really do any of that. To be honest, not like since I've been following WWE. I mean, he had a match with freaking Johnny Knoxville at Mania, and it's like
that's the most dangerous one.
basically that's the only time I ever actually seen him do stuff on his body. That's about it.
No, yeah, I do know that his independent circuit was a lot better. Like when people were starting to say, oh no, you have to look at him as, I forgot what was his name, and when he was in Ring of Honor and all that shit, I would go look at him. He would wear a mask, and I was like, fuck. I'm like, this is Sami Zayn? Yeah, when he came over here in WWE, honestly WWE cuts them a lot. Like they neuter them, los chingan bien feo, que they can't really show quién son. So cuando yo miro eso, I'm like, they had to play to what the WWE is storytelling,
right?
As opposed to AEW where they just like super move,
right?
And it gets fucking boring and dumb.
I think what WWE worries about is a lot is longevity, because like it's kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, like obviously you made yourself your name for yourself an independent circuit, but like, hey, like now we want you to take care of your body because we want to have you for a long period of time, not just damn, you got a career-ending injury and you're gone after like 2 months, basically. Not
Yes.
that it's happened, but it's a good possibility of it happening with AEW. I mean, what's his name? Darby Allin is his name?
Yes.
When in Sting's retirement match, like when he just did that, jump off the ladder or whatever. Like at that point, it was like, bro, you just went to damn glass. Like what? And it got televised,
And it's crazy, and like it's cool. Like I tell, like AEW miro más highlights que la actual match.
Yeah.
Porque yo sí me aburro. I hate how they use a lot of superpowers or finishers,
Right.
and I'm like, come on. Yes, sometimes I've noticed that WWE wants to go to that route. I'm like, no, stay your lane. It's cool.
Right.
It's like on SmackDown, Andrade missed with his elbow, which is not his finisher, and he beat him like that. So I'm like, oh, I think they're gonna switch his finisher to the elbow, which I'm okay with that shit. I'm like, I like that. I'm like, because it's more surprising and it looks more impactful, and you can hit it anytime, any place, and it's good. I'm like, but he didn't over fucking do it. It's like for instance, like for Penta, I don't like how he sets up his finisher, where he gets him with the arm, y se la dobla, and then he goes on like, no, I'm like, that means that we know it's coming. We know it's coming. So like I don't know. There's something about me, but they him now. The match, a toda madre. I thought the Alabama at the end was amazing.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. I mean, I haven't seen that in a minute, but the fact that I went through that ladder, it just, it was really good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was. And after the Rumble, I almost called it, William. I said I won Andrade versus Penta, and we got Ray versus Penta. I believe they used too much time on handshaking, respecting each other before we got that, because I was like, when I saw them, I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a great 3-minute match, 4-minute match.
Right.
Y no, because they were handshaking y todo. Digo, I'm sorry, ya con el tirol de ese. I do like how this was at 6-1-9, but nobody caught on it. No one, like, because no one knows he doesn't do that shit.
He doesn't do it exactly that. When he started doing it, I was like, what the hell did you? And then when I caught on at the 9, I was like, oh, he did 6-1-9. Sí. I was like, what is he saying? And then that's when I caught on at the 9. I'm like, oh, well, a little bit late now, But yeah, so I mean, like you said, I wish they would have done more actual wrestling than the whole respecting thing. Like I get it, you guys are respecting, like Penta respecting Mysterio and vice versa. But I'm like, like we kind of want to see this happen already, so like get to it. And then when it finally gets to it, it's like, oh great.
And not only that, for those few viewers that watch our little podcast, if you guys want to see Rey Mysterio kind of in his prime versus Penta, a younger Penta, go watch Lucha Underground. Penta Dark, I think his name's Penta Dark, versus Rey Mysterio. You'll definitely catch him there. It's Lucha Underground. It's a great match. I fucking fell in love with it, and we were definitely getting the old version of them, which was still good for the little bit that we got. And then fucking Kurt Angle Jr. coming in, and then fucking the other Mexican guy, what's his face? Santos. And before him, it was obviously Carmelo. When you had all those high flyers, all those cruiserweights, all those lightweights, we had an amazing talent show.
Yeah, I texted you saying I think this is how they have us hyped with the cruiserweights, and then moving eventually into the heavyweights with all the superstars at the end.
Yes,
and even the announcers said the same thing about the whole now that the luchadores are all gone, the match has slowed down. Like the announcers literally said, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what happened, because everything was, like off the charts. Like when basically Chad Gable had basically thrown everybody out, and then they get back in and they all like attack each other. I'm like, bro, like that's just
see, and it's crazy because I forgot there is a style. Give me let me see if I can find it. There's a style for the ¿cómo se llama? For that style of wrestling que hace el de Kevin Owens and all them. I found it yesterday because I was talking to my friend. He says like, "Oh, that's the most boringest Rumble I've ever seen." I'm like, "That's bien pendejo." I'm like, "How are you gonna say that shit?" We had literally the first 30 minutes was fucking lucha libre, and then after that it was I have it here. Strong style wrestling.
Okay.
So strong style is like Kevin Owens, where they use like, it looks like it's real hits where they're punching each other. That's fucking Jacob Fatu. That's Braun Strowman. That's Brock Lesnar. So that's strong style. Braun Breaker. ¿Cómo se llama? And then there's the other ones who can like CM Punk, who are the technical wrestlers, who bring in the arm rags, who bring in the arm drags and the arm locks and all that shit. So that's the technical wrestling. So for me, I loved it that we had our lucha libre, and then we had our strong style, and then we finished it with the superstars.
Right. I mean, I your friend whoever said it was boring. I don't know what part of it he found boring. Because I couldn't find. I mean, the only thing I could nitpick about the men's rumble would be the surprises. Like there was no. I mean, besides speed, if you call that a surprise,
You
no
called it.
surprises.
You
I mean,
called
I
it.
called it, yeah, but I mean, the way it came out was
No,
like,
there was a surprise, and I love that he got a pop. AJ Styles.
oh, well, I mean, yeah, actually, you're right. That was a surprise, yes, because I didn't forget about him, because I was like, oh yeah, like AJ Styles should be like where is AJ Styles? And then like literally that's him. Like a few numbers later, he comes out like, oh, there he is.
See, so for me, I'm like, I was happy that I saw him. I'm like, because, and even though I did call it. I'm like, oh, I think AJ Styles might be back. Um, I was happy that in a way we didn't get to see Randy Orton. Who was the other one that I thought was gonna come out? I forgot who else I said that was gonna come out. Joe Hendrick. Right. When he came out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna bring this fool over. I love that he brought this TNA championship so that people can know he's from TNA. I love that he did his little fucking spin. That shit was fucking funny. And then how fucking Sheamus was with his fucking clapping. He was all into it, and Law Regaña Jacob was like, "Hey, why you stop him?" I'm like, that was fun. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it was. I'm not, like again. I also noticed they had no NXT call-ups for the men's rumble, like at all.
I noticed that. I was expecting what's his name, Trick Williams.
At least Trick Williams.
Yes, I know that Trick Williams is like so over.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay. I'm like no NXT whatsoever.
Yeah, that was I was completely interested because obviously with the women's, I think they had like 4 or 5 NXT females in there, and one of them made it basically top 3, I think.
Yeah,
final 3 with Roxana or whatever her name is. But I was just like, there was like none for NXT for the men's. I'm sorry, no, but
If I have to say something about the Rumble that bothered me, well, 2 things bothered me, and you already know one of them. When they brought in fucking Eddie Guerrero Jr.
no,
All right, when they brought him in, I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, if he's already so over with the crowd, like he can get boos. That shit that Logan Paul did, that should have been given to Dominic, because Logan Paul's not going to be there for the long run. He's not going to be there for 20 years.
right.
And unless Eddie Guerrero Jr. gets fucking injured, he's gonna be there for 20.
Right.
And for him to get more over, for him to get more boost, they should have given that. I don't know if he can jump as high as Logan to the table and land it. That I don't know. But him coming back and fucking pushing AJ Styles, him eliminating CM Punk, that would have been instant heat for fucking Dominic.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, obviously, what was it, 2 years ago when Logan Paul made it top 3 again or top 4? When he eliminated Seth Rollins, so it's like Logan Paul at this point has 2 big names eliminations out of under his belt. I mean, I was happy with Dom when first thing he did was a frog splash on Cena. I was like, well, that's kind of cool, But after that, I was kind of upset with his elimination, like that. Something like that. Like it was a quick run for Dom, basically.
I would have been more surprised with the Jey Uso victory. That's my other gripe, right? Jey Uso winning. I would have been more surprised when CM Punk got eliminated, or let's say if it would have been CM Punk and Jay at the end. And it's crazy because I did say that J-Man, the Fleet. I said Yeet Man's going to be my number 5. So I think I was closer than you to the number because as a champion, right? Because I said number 5, and I did say John Cena was in my final 2 or final 4. Technically, CM Punk was final 4. Technically, because he was number 4 because he was the last one in the ring. ¿Cómo se llama? By them having, ¿cómo se llama? I think about a month ago, they announced that John Cena was going to be at the Chamber. So when I saw them as the final 2, I was like, Cena won, hell yeah. And then I remember I'm like, no, I'm like, fucking Cena was announced for the Chamber. Jay's gonna win. If they would have kept that shit a secret, his victory for me for Jay, I'm like, okay, it was unexpected, cool. And it was so unexpected though. It was no one expected Jay Uso to win, which
Yeah.
pisses me off because you guys already know my gripe with him that he fucking sucks at wrestling. He's just over with his fucking, which I already do it too. So I'm like, no, I get up and I fucking it's fun and I do say yeet, but I don't. He bores me. That's my piss break. That's my shit break. Point plain and simple. And I don't care if people get mad, but I still have to give the Rumble en a toda madre.
I mean, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Because again, the ending I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the Logan Paul elimination on CM Punk. I believe Roman Reigns is out again until probably Elimination Chamber because that stomp is gonna make him be out for a while. So at this point, it's when it comes down to Jay. I even with the whole yeet. I mean, I went to Monday Night Raw and I actually had him like I was on this side and he was on that side when he was coming down with the fence. So I was in the same section where Jay was coming down. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, but it just, I just don't like him. I guess I don't know. There's just something about him that I can't stand and I can't pinpoint what it is. I hate people saying all over TikTok he deserves it. He always takes L's. I'm like, okay, but Kevin Owens doesn't take L's. Okay, but Drew McIntyre, wrestler of the year, doesn't take L's. I think he deserves it more. Like don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure he deserves it more.
And that's just like he is just it's because he's over. He's over with the mic. So just like the Miz, I never liked the Miz. His sole intercontinental run, that was my shit break. It's like when Gunther says like you were the longest intercontinental champion, and I missed the whole thing. That was me, guilty. He's boring. I'll never find him interesting. Yes, he's good in the mic, but fuck you, you're boring. At least Jey Uso's entertaining sometimes. Sometimes he's entertaining. It depends who he's wrestling.
Right.
And Gunther's already a big man, so it's not going to be a high, fast pace. It's going to be a technical match, and fucking Jey Uso doesn't have wrestling because Jay is not going to go for Cody. I already know that shit. He's not going to go for Cody.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to happen. I mean, again, unless if from here to Mania Cody starts turning heel, then that's a different story. But I honestly don't see it happening that way either.
And so I'm just going to ask you this. Because I know you're allá, y van a ser las medianoche para ti. Pero you said Roman Reigns might be out until the Chamber.
I mean, they haven't said anything about like after the stomp, oh, he got injured or whatever. But I already know that's going to be the reason why he doesn't show up to the next SmackDown, the next Raw, up until basically the Chamber.
And I was going to agree to it, but he's going to be out till the promotional for WrestleMania.
So you think he's going to miss the Chamber?
Yes. Because I think the Chamber is going to be Drew, CM Punk, John Cena, maybe Seth. And then you have to look at the SmackDown guys. AJ Styles is back, and we might get Randy Orton. Maybe.
Yeah.
This is another conversation for another day. I do believe Roman Reigns is going to miss it. My take right now is because it's going to be Roman and Seth at WrestleMania. It's not going to be The Rock anymore. It's too late for The Rock to be involved.
It is too late. I mean, obviously, The Rock has not appeared, and the last time he appeared was Netflix, and he was The Rock, not the final boss. So at that point, I'm fully convinced he's squashed the character of the final boss. Like, hey, I'm done with wrestling. I'm too old for this shit. I can't do it.
I don't think he's too old. I think he got mad at the fans, and he's basically telling you, fuck you to the fans.
Because, yeah, I mean, that could be another reason why. I mean, yeah, probably. I guess you're probably more right on that end.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, his ego is kind of big, where he's like, I did this for you guys, but fuck you now. I'm not going to give you Rock and Cody, and I'm definitely not going to give you Rock and Roman. Not right now, when I want to.
Right.
So that's how I see it. Like, so at the moment, like I said, this is a conversation for another day. Maybe next week or maybe on Wednesday or whenever we get together, we can definitely think what's going on. But I do see that Roman versus Seth. The Chamber talks, we're going to have to talk about it after this Monday Night Raw because they're gonna announce who are the players for that, and expect Cena and expect Punk to be in there. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, I could kind of see what you're saying, like the whole Roman not being there. Potentially, Roman is there just to cost Seth.
Yes, and expect. I'm gonna call it right now. I think Charlotte's going for Tiffany. She's not going for Rhea. I think Rhea versus Charlotte is better, but I believe she's going for Tiffany.
I agree. I agree. I mean, right now, Charlotte would be what, a heel, I guess. I don't even know what Charlotte would be, because right now Tiffany's a face, Rhea's a face, but we already got Rhea and Charlotte, and I'm pretty sure I already know who's going after Rhea.
And that's we like I said, we'll save all this for if you have a chance to do it on Wednesday, we'll get to. If we know, we'll just save it for next week. But that's what I'm saying, like, because it's Charlotte and she's like Ric Flair, she can come in right now and be heel. She can come in right now and be face. She's not gonna give a fuck because she's that good in the mic, and she looked like fucking Stone Cold. So the Royal Rumble, what's your rating completely? I know that you said because Jay won, you dropped it to 10. I believe because it's unexpected, I can't bring it all the way down. Because I dislike them, I cannot bring it down. I left it as a toda madre. I had 2 a toda madre rumbles. 1 8 out of 10. 1 9 out of 10 for the girls. 1 8 out of 10 for the tag team. So I'm gonna give the show a toda madre. I'll be generous enough that I was like entertained by the Royal Rumble. A toda madre rating.
I mean, I got the rating at 10.
All right, at 10.
At 10, just because again, the majority of the endings. I mean, well, the 2 of the endings, I was just like, yeah.
And I know that we didn't touch on this, but let me just bring it up. What was your favorite face-off and favorite moment?
Favorite moment. Whose was it? Freaking Breaker breaking speed, bro. Like that was just.
I give shit to Speed. I don't like Speed, but I give him props for taking that spear head on. Like that fool did not jump. He did like lo agarró de ladito, and the way that his fucking head boom bumped it. Props to that motherfucker. That shit was fucking hilarious. It made me laugh. And it was also my favorite moment of the men's Rumble. Obviously, my favorite part of the Rumble, the face-off, for me, it had to be Braun Breaker versus Fatu when they faced each other.
I think, well, for me, it'd be Braun Breaker versus Roman.
When they faced off.
Yeah, when they faced off, and obviously Breaker hit the spear on Roman. I think that was for me. That was the one.
Just imagine the pop that Braun Breaker would have got if they would have gone through with the elimination on Roman.
On Roman,
the pop that it would have gotten.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think obviously it just didn't happen because you were waiting for the Roman, Cena, Punk, and eventually Seth Rollins picture.
And yes, exactly. And I was going to say that because I know what they're setting up for WrestleMania. Because of that, I was like, okay, cool. I don't trip. But I was like, man, they should have fucking allowed it. Because it was like when Maven eliminated Undertaker.
Yeah.
They asked Undertaker, why'd you let yourself to do that? He's like, because I knew that I wasn't going to do nothing big. It was like for wrestling, I wasn't going to run for titles. I wasn't going to do anything. He's like, so I told myself, I want to leave early. I don't want to wrestle as much. I don't want to get injured. So I allow this young kid to give him his moment. So he allowed him to fucking eliminate him. So I was like, oh, cool. And Roman should have done something like that. But that spear on Roman was badass. And fucking Braun Breaker, I think he is number 2 when it comes to the spear.
Behind who?
Huh?
Behind who?
What do you mean behind who? Behind fucking Goldberg, bro.
Well, I mean, I thought you meant active, but yeah, you're right. Behind Goldberg. So you gotta say behind Jey Uso.
I know that was, dude. That's behind fucking Charlotte Flair, bro. Anyways, William, you have a good night, people. Right. What do you guys think about the Rumble? If you watched it, you guys have a good night, a good evening, and a good morning. Los vemos, William.
Everybody.